Hey folks, this is Ben Cohen. I'm the moderator for the Virginia Cybertruck Owners Group, as well as the Virginia Electric Vehicle Owners. And wanted to come to you today to give you a quick review of the Hannshow Cybertruck rear view mirror. This is the electronic rear view mirror specifically made for the Cybertruck and manufactured for Hannshow, which is one of the larger Cybertruck accessory companies that's out there currently. And I am an affiliate for Hannshow, just to let you know, and I'll give you now the discount code for this and anything else that you decide to get from Hannshow. And they have accessories for just about every part of the Cybertruck, from running boards to accessory lighting to interior modifications to the MOLLE panels and everything else. But one thing that separates them is the electronic rearview mirror that I'm going to show you in a minute. Now, just so you know, I'm not going to give you an instructional how-to on it, because there's some other really good ones out there. Chuck Cook has one, Mark VRBO Mancini I think has one. There's one or two that are actually featured on Handshow's website that are users as well, that have done and give you a lot of pointers on how to get it installed. What I'm going to tell you is that it's not an easy install. And so I don't want you to have this misconception that you're going to get it and you're going to install it in 20 minutes and be on your way with finally having the electronic rearview mirror that the car should have come with in the first place. But Hannshow, and there's only one other electronic rearview mirror that I'm aware of that's mass marketed currently, and that's Wolfbox. Hannshow is the only one that's actually made specifically for the Cybertruck. And by specifically, there's two things that separate it from the other electronic rearview mirror, which is the Wolfbox one, which is less money than the Hannshow one. The first thing is that they make a specialized bracket that goes where the original rearview mirror was for the Cybertruck. So you know the center triangle that I'll show you in a minute, where you normally have your tiny little Cybertruck mirror. This goes instead where that would go and screws in, and it was originally a 3D printed item that did not fare very well, quite frankly, for people who got it for the first couple of months that it was out. They have since gone back and actually created a forged metal bracket that's much stiffer and also much more robust, so that you don't accidentally put the screw through it or something like that, like I did. And I went back and complained to them, and they were very responsive, and within a matter of a week or so had me an actual metal rearview mirror bracket. Now, were they already planning that? And just when I broke mine, they said, okay, we're going to FedEx you a new one. And I've had several issues with the installation of this, partially probably to me not being as experienced as some of the other people. It's like I joke with Chuck Cook, who has a bunch of videos out there for all kinds of different Cybertruck things, and he's an engineer. And so it's like, I don't want to compare myself to someone who obviously is much more adept with a screwdriver and probably a protractor as well than I am. But it should be something that's, when they say it's an easy user install, it should actually live up to that. And this doesn't. It's a little more difficult than that. So bear with me for a second. I'm going to go ahead and spin it around, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, so this is the video rear view mirror that I'm talking about. This is the Hannshow model. And I'm not going to go through all the different functions. It does have a number of different functions that you can come up with, where you can take pictures, you can shoot video, you can have actual sound come out of the from the camera in the back there. You can also go to the functions menu here, so that you can, whether you're streaming media, whether you can actually play it back for things that you've recorded onto the SD card. And there's an actual SD card slot on the side there, which is nice. And you've got your clock, and there's all kinds of different settings that you can vary how long it stays lit and when it automatically shuts off and things like that. And of course you can also vary the brightness that's showing here, but it also has an auto brightness as well. So it does really well as a near 4K kind of display, and I've got it set so I always see the time there too, which is nice. But more importantly, and these are all, I believe this is close to a 12-inch display, maybe a little bit less. The Wolf Box markets itself as a 12-inch display. I can't tell you if one's maybe a little bit less in size than the other, but both of them are large rear view mirrors. More importantly is up here, you can see the bracket, and this is the metal bracket that they've created recently. You can see there's a notch here for the wiring to go through. It's a larger notch than the original one, so it gives you a little bit more room for getting the wiring through back here. Here's your cabin camera as well. It doesn't obstruct it in any way. And actually what it does is, so one thing is they have this OEM-like connection here. The other thing is that they actually are able to tie directly in to the wiring harness that's inside here that connects, I believe, to your camera. And then there's also underneath here is your GPS antenna and maybe some other antenna kind of stuff too. So you stuff the wires in here, you connect with a special wiring harness that they created that piggybacks into it and then still allows you to plug in, I'm assuming it's your camera or whatever else that it plugs into. I really didn't get into the specifics. And then of course you are able to bring the wiring along here. I don't have the front camera. This does have the ability to have a front camera that gives you dash cam abilities, and it's pretty nice to that extent. And it would normally go right up here, where most people would mount it. I don't have it installed right now. Quite frankly, I'm very happy with the dash cam that the car provides. It does everything that I need it to do, but you can do that. And I believe that it will record both the dash cam as well as the rear camera as well, because I've seen people showing recordings from the rear camera, specifically from this mirror. I will tell you that the issue, one of the installation issues with this, I apologize, my daughter's talking a little bit in the background there. One of the issues is that inside here, and especially inside here, you're very limited in how much space you have for external wires. They really, when they designed this, they did not anticipate people trying to stuff other things inside here as far as accessories go. This one in particular has virtually no room for extra wiring. It flush mounts against its connectors, and so even just like one additional wire is almost too much for it. So there's a little slack. There is more room in here for putting some wires. You just want to be careful not to put them maybe right on top of the antenna for the GPS. It could obstruct that, as well as potentially the 4G antenna for the radio. I haven't had any issues with that, so I guess I did it right, but that is something that could be more of an issue. Once you get past here, and bring the wiring up to the headliner, there's tons of room inside the headliner. And then you come around here, and then you're gonna have to go outside the seal at some point, and I chose to come around here and then go outside the seal for the back window. Some people will do it from the front window. It doesn't really make a difference. I will tell you that there is a way of getting the wires underneath the side panels. I don't know how to do it, so I just have a little bit of wire exposed. I think that no matter what you do, you're gonna have one or two, unless you know how to pull the panels off, which I haven't found out how to do yet, you're gonna have a little bit of wire exposed. So it's not gonna be a complete OEM look, but it can be if you have that ability. And they have a little wire tucking tool that they include with it that gives you a little bit more of a custom OEM look to it. For me, it was important that things look as close to stock as possible with this mirror. I will tell you, with the Wolf Box, I don't believe that's possible. The Wolf Box, by comparison, actually has it where you mount it either on top of the existing mirror, which would look pretty yachi to me, or you could probably suction cup it here or even put it down here, because it has a couple of different kinds of mounts. None of them really appealed to me compared to being able to have an actual OEM bracket, which is pretty darn nice. Now, this does normally secure with the little tab that comes out when you pull the OEM mirror off. There's a little tab that you're supposed to be able to put down here so that you can have a flush, clean, no mirror installation. And it actually has a little cutout for you to put through here. I broke mine off because, as I said before, I'm not that good at this. But what I am good at is telling you the truth about the fact that the installation is not the easiest installation in the world. Also, it helps to have, as Chuck and several other people point out, if you can have someone else to help you with it, it'll go a lot faster, because getting the screw in back here is really a devil of a time, because the aspect of the screw in the bolt actually is sort of facing the rear of the truck. It has a weird angle that's very, very difficult to attain. Do not use the included star drive little wrench that they include with it. It's useless, and you'll want to jump off the top of a tall building in frustration. So definitely use an aftermarket, much longer handle, longer shank. I think it's a T20 or T25 driver to put that in. You'll be very happy with yourself with that, and you're going to have to put some pressure in there to reach those threads. You could also probably get an aftermarket screw that's a little bit longer and make your life a little bit easier, but you do want to have this secure, and that's why having it go to being a metal mount was so important, because now you can really crank down on it a little bit to secure it so that you have very little play, which is nice. You don't want to have a bunch of play on this, especially if you're going off-roading. Be right back with more information. I wanted to show you the external look of this and how I finished it up on this side, and to let you know that I didn't do it quite as well as others would, so you can probably do a better job than me, or if you hire someone to do it, which I would have loved to have done. I am going to open this up real quick and show you where the wiring came, and you're able to put it underneath here all the way through, like some of the other installations will show you, and then you can actually just have the little wire go right through here and feed it through this gasket and then out on top here. And then, as you can see over here, I've just got it laid pretty much tucked in. Unfortunately, the connector, you're going to have to remove this whole panel to get that. I could not get the panel off. It was, I think they used Loctite on it or something for the little bolts there that are like T20 or T25 bolts. I couldn't get it out, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just not going to kill myself over this. And so I actually just taped this down really well, and then it's secured between the little panel here and the glass. Now, what you'll notice is that I also have the camera on top instead of near the license plate. And for me, that's important because I wanted to be able to see the top of the tonneau cover, and then also when I've got things inside the bed, I wanted to be able to show things inside the bed as well. And so when you come to the link for this video, you'll also see a link for this actual file to be able to have a 3D printed housing for the rear view camera. And I think it's a really clean installation. I will tell you that you do have to modify a little bit of the housing on the inside for the camera to fit properly. I just sort of broke off the little tab on the inside, and that took care of it, and then it was able to mount properly. And I actually just have it mounted with double-sided tape. So very, very nice installation, gives you plenty of viewing capability. I will tell you that it doesn't give you quite the same viewing capability as if you had it mounted, and so a lot of people will mount it down by the mirror here, and then some people will even go down here and mount it next to the hitch. The problem with that is that I tow a fair amount, and so I didn't want to always have my view blocked by whatever I'm towing. So the accomplishment being able to actually have it up here and be able to see both what's in the bed as well as everything behind me, even when I'm hitched up. So I really like that as an option. So I wanted to just show you this real quick. Once again, you can get this right now at 25% off from Hannshow. Use the code CYBERBEN, CYBERBEN, and that will get you the max discount, which is 25% off. Doesn't have to be Black Friday. You get the Black Friday discount every day. So if you use my affiliate code, you'll get 25% off. I get a little bit of a kickback too. Thank you very much for using my code. And if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email or message me on Facebook. Be happy to answer any questions I can. Once again, if you are more adept at being able to like remove this panel here, you're gonna have a cleaner installation up here. And then also if you're able to remove these panels inside here, like this here, you're gonna have a cleaner installation once again. So you can have as close to a factory look as possible with the Hannshow. You're not gonna have the same look with the Wolf box because they don't have those modifications available as of yet. And I don't know if they will or not because they're more of a generic electronic rearview mirror. I will say it's a nice product, but Hannshow made this one specifically for the Cybertruck. The Wolf box one is just sort of for anyone who needs an electronic rearview mirror. All right, talk to you soon. Have a good one.